Good.
Hello everyone, I'm Tara Jones from Peaceful Solutions, and this is Pippy. So today we are going to work on something that I get a lot of questions about, and Pippy is coming 3 years old, so she's pretty much a baby. The fact that she's standing here right now calmly is a miracle. She came to me, she had a lot of quivers and jitters. I have really only worked her 3 sessions, so she's probably had possibly maybe 3 hours total. So this is the 4th session with her, and I'm using her because I want you to see some of the things that you might encounter. She was brought to me to be put under saddle. I'm not going to dare put a saddle on her until we were good with a lot of the obstacles that you're going to see us use here today. And you're going to see that her reaction to things is pretty big. So what I'm trying to teach her at this point in time is to face her fear. So whatever she sees, as much as she's scared and wants to turn and run the other direction, I want her to turn and look at it and stop and stand and accept it. Okay, she doesn't have to be. The biggest thing that people come to me and say is, I want my horse not to be spooky. It's impossible to take the spook out of a horse, but what you can do is you can teach a horse to deal with its fear. And that's what we're trying to work on with Pippy. Another thing that you're going to see me do is you're going to see me heighten the anxiety level and then bring it back down. That's extremely important when you're working with a horse that's spooky, because I might go, psh, and she has a little bit of a reaction. But I also want at the same time for her to go, oh my gosh, okay, it's okay. She's not trying to hurt me. She's not doing anything at all through this whole process that has done anything to hurt me. So what she needs to realize is that she can be as high as a kite, but being low and being reasonable about what my requests are what I'm trying to get out of her. So the only way to really train that anxiety is to bring that anxiety out and to get her to that high level so that she learns how to deal with it. I see a lot of people that tiptoe around their horses, and when horses are spooky like this, they don't really get to that anxiety level, and it's really important that you do. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to break this session into a couple different clips because I have a feeling we have gone over the mat so far yesterday, and we played around with the beach ball. Today I'm going to introduce a flag, an umbrella, some tarps, and some other ideas for things that I can possibly work on with her to get her used to it. Her reaction is probably going to take me quite a little bit of time to get through it, so I'd like you guys to see that on the video clips. So what I'm going to do, I want to talk a little bit about what exactly Pippy is wearing, okay? And hopefully you can hear me with all the trucks. Another reason why I like my round pen being here is simply the fact that I live on a really busy road. There's a lot of trucks that go by, and the horses learn to hear jake brakes, they learn to hear trucks, cement trucks, you name it, horns, everything else, and they get used to the fact of traffic. So when I do actually get on them here in the round pen for the first time, I do have their focus and attention, which is often really nice, because that's what you need. What Pippy is wearing is called a cavesson. I learned how to use this in Australia when I went to study with Jose Mendez about 4 years ago. And the reason why I use a cavesson is because it helps me to get the horse's head straight. What it also does is you'll see that the cavesson rolls a little bit over her nose. That enables me to get her to bend a little bit laterally. So once she has that little bit of lateral bend, she can learn to let her neck muscles go and learn to drop her head in response to that. Now you can kind of see we are nowhere near that yet. She has moments where she'll actually relax and give me those neck muscles, but it's few and far between. In another 10 sessions, this horse will be like Gumby. She will actually relax all the neck muscles that she has on the bottom. One of the other things I want you to see is the fact that her neck is super developed underneath. Okay, the sternomandibular muscle, which is going right here, is really fat. And if you were to press on it, it feels like cement under there. What I want that to be is jello-like. I want her ears to actually come level with her withers so that she can release all these muscles and start working over her back. Okay, so again, we've only worked for about 3 sessions. This will be our 4th. I use a bamboo stick so I don't have to be very close to her because she does have a little bit of a reaction. I'm going to touch her and ask her to go out and we'll start working at a trot. You can see she goes over the mat and she's a little bit hesitant. So we're just going to keep working on this, and I'm going to ask her, good girl, I'm going to ask her to just make a nice circle, and I'm going to look at the left hind foot that's closest to me. And I'm really looking for that left hind foot to track up. So it's starting to meet where the left front foot just left. That looks pretty good. And again, obstacles are just something in your way of your intended path of travel. often I see people make such a big deal out of obstacles. They take the horse up to it and they let them sniff it. And they do all these things to make the horse start to worry about it. Just start to work your horse and let that be your intended line that you'd like to travel upon. The reason that I like this mat is because what I'm actually trying to do through the course of a few days is get her on a line of blocks so that I'm really accurate with her and that she's really traveling on those blocks. Perfect. And you can see she has little moments where she does start to let go on that underneath neck muscle, and I love that she's starting to let go on that portion of her neck. Okay, I'm going to ask her to change direction. I'm going to ask for a slight lateral bend. Very good. We're just going to pause here a second. I'm going to lead her and ask her to go forward. A quick note of how I'm asking her to lunge. I spend days and days and days sometimes lunging training horses because I feel like it's very important. There's an art to lunging. It's not just throwing your horse out on the end of a lunge line or a lead line and letting them run around in circles and buck and kick and rear. I'm actually looking for the muscle structure of the horse to change. And I'm looking for the horse to start using their body in a way that's going to help them develop their muscles so that when I actually do put the saddle and the saddle pad on, that the horse will be used to lifting the back muscles so that the saddle isn't a big deal. That way when I go to sit in the saddle, she'll already have developed those muscles in order to make her capable of carrying not only herself, but the saddle and me in it as well. Okay, so you can see that this is, that was a little different. Okay, I'm not going to make a big deal out of this, right? She came to that spot. She saw that the mat is a little rippled. It looks different. I kept pushing her forward, and I kept her on the same line. Okay, don't make a huge deal out of the fact the horse doesn't want to go forward. Keep asking them to go. Now here's what I'm asking her to do. Can you come closer, please? Okay, this turns into just your basic leading lesson. Thank you. You can see, here she's wanting to back up, doesn't want to stand still, thinks she needs to run off. And again, I'm trying to just get her to relax and think of this as it's no big deal, okay? What I'm looking for when I'm asking her to go forward is I'm going to touch her hip spot with the bamboo stick on the fleshiest part of her hip. Okay, so that means I'm going to reach back here and tell her to go forward. That's your gas pedal. When I want her to slow down, I'm going to bring my stick to the chest and slowly lower to her lower legs to ask her to back up. And you can see, when I use this cavesson, I am never jerking or pulling on this cavesson. Okay? When I use this cavesson, I am adding the pressure, and if the horse runs out to the end of it and hits it, that's on them. Okay? So I'm keeping the pressure the same, and eventually they learn that if they go out and they feel that pressure, to come back, not to go out and try and run through it. If, in the beginning, like I said, in my intensive courses, I don't teach anyone to use a cavesson until level 2. So when we start working horses on the ground, in my level 1 intensive course, we start with a bit. And this is perfectly legitimate for you to be able to use a bit and to just hook a lunge line to the side of the bit and keep switching sides. That's fine. I don't really care for a halter with this because the halter rings are on the bottom underneath the chin. And when you pull and add pressure, it creates head tilt, which is going to make the first and second vertebrae twist. And I'm not a big fan of head tilt. I like to keep the horse's ears as level as possible with their head and neck in between their 2 feet as she travels around. So you can see as she goes around the round pen, I'm looking for her to stay with her head and neck in between her 2 front feet, her ears even with her shoulders. Good girl. And I'm going to keep that contact in front of her and keep asking her to step forward actively with her hind feet. This work does no good if your horse is hardly moving. Okay? So that's just a little start of what Pip and I have already worked on. Okay? Again, I'm just going to take her back to the mat. We can go on and on with this for hours about things that she can do with your basic lunging and things that she can do to teach them to cross. Good girl. Right there, I didn't really want her to run through that. Okay, and I'm going to bring her back over here. Good girl. So in the next clip, I'm going to actually introduce the blue tarp, which she has not seen yet. And we're going to talk about how you can get close to the horse to the point where you're actually almost wrapping them in it and putting the tarp over their backs to ready them for the saddle pad in the saddle. So I hope you enjoyed that. Now we're going to move on and we're going to talk about what to do after this part.